Yeah, a little bit of that.
I smell like maple syrup. How about that?
Yeah, I smell like flowers and puppy dogs.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen, and special shout out to John, your first time playing here, which is a fantastic,
good time.
Second, really unreal. He was
first
match.
league match,
First mic match.
first mic'd up match, and also your first time, and you haven't
Finally.
commentated yet.
It's been a long time coming.
After some cancellations. Just overall thoughts. What are your like experiences, or what were your expectations being mic'd up in this setting for the first time playing a match?
You know, I thought this thing would kind of bother me. You don't even notice it when you're playing,
Right.
You know? And I like to it's nice to kind of talk after a changeover, talk with your partner and kind of talk strategy, and you probably don't do that often when you're like playing. I mean, you talk, but it gives you more time to kind of like think things through.
It's a lot more dynamic, especially in doubles, because you have someone to bounce off ideas.
You become more self-analytical, and you kind of are able to self-correct because of it, I think. That's one the biggest thing for me, is that I've found that I really pay attention to little things, you know, details.
A little more detail, yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I echo what John said. The mic didn't bother me at all, and you know, it really did allow me to analyze my game and Scott's game a little bit more, and what you guys were doing. I'm constantly doing that anyway, but yeah, it was a little more fine-tuning of that, I think, knowing that I needed to go back and comment, and then get back on the court and put those comments to work, you know, and I thought I liked it a lot. It was really helpful.
Did the cameras add any weight to nervousness or anxiety?
No.
Oh, really?
No, not at all.
That's not
we usually don't hear that.
That's not the usual answer. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Well, you know, but maybe that's, you know, more of a singles thing, because you're alone on the court. Whereas in doubles, you know, you're kind of put at ease by a partner, I think.
Could be. No, I didn't. But I didn't really think about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Just tried to win.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Everybody was doing the same. They had the same plan. Yeah.
I honestly, to kind of go off that, Matt, question for you, just because like I remarked, and this is not to negate the level of play of anyone else, but like we kind of remarked that you were probably the top player on the court for me today, in my opinion. Did the cameras? Did you notice that like the cameras had a positive impact in your game?
Okay,
either?
yeah. If it
'Cause
had
it's
any
like,
impact, it was maybe positive. Like it may. Yeah, I'd say that, Topher, that like knowing that I was on camera, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit, you know, if that makes sense, like just a little bit. So yeah, I would say yes.
Because we've had different personalities on the channel, and I think the camera affects different personalities differently, and I think you're one of those people who like the big lights, the big moments.
Yeah,
it's like,
Performative rage, right?
Yeah, that's it. No, but it's like that's the moments that you shine, and like this venue can really be a huge bolster to your game. And another question for Ian, I kind of want to I want you to assess your performance.
Dear God.
And like kind of, how did you feel? Did things change during the match? What were your thoughts kind of going in initially, and then like as things developed?
So I went in expecting to be the weakest player on the court, and I don't mean that in like a self-deprecating way, but just realistically, you know, speaking. And I think I went through pockets of holding my own and staying even, you know, with my partner. But the moments where I like had a little bit of a lull, I was definitely a liability. So that's how I feel overall. Not in like a mopey way, but just trying to be objective.
Do you think it's more like psychological, physical?
Honestly, so yeah, I would say two things. Like what I feel mostly is like my eyes being a little slow and my feet being a little bit slow. And like there were moments where I don't know, I was in situations that in my brain feel very routine, but my feet and my sensory just didn't feel like I was quite keeping up with the pace of the action. And this is my fifth doubles match this year, definitely the fastest tempo one. And so I feel like my physiology didn't quite raise to where it had to be in order to keep up with the pace of play.
Question for John. This is your second or third time playing with Ian in doubles?
Second.
Yeah.
Second, okay. So you guys dominated the first two matches fairly.
No, this is the second time.
The first one was pretty.
First one was
routine,
rolling
yeah.
like over there.
Yeah.
So you've played with Ian before, so you already have some chemistry to an extent. What was your strategy with Ian coming in to face these guys? Because I think Ian has played with Matt as a partner once, and then Ian knows Scott's game pretty much in and out pretty well. So what was your strategy?
Well, the talk was, because he's pretty kind of, I call him gadget arms. He's like likes to move forward. My return's my best part of my game. So we feel like I'm always going to probably drop it low, so I need someone to be aggressive and at least move forward, pinch middle, or just outright go. And so he does that. So it's like I need to play with someone that's aggressive, that takes advantage of a return. Otherwise, it just neutralizes it if someone comes back. So.
A follow-up question then. You said your best shot is your return, and I'm assuming doubles and maybe even singles too whenever you do play. It seems like your goal is to just dip it low in the feet to the server's feet. Did you ever think about pulling it down the line to check the server's partner?
Yeah, I just didn't, they weren't going a ton.
Okay.
They weren't moving a lot.
Is that a plan?
So I think when we did go, we tested them down the line a couple times, but they were staying at home. So I kind of felt like I wasn't necessarily worried about them going because they weren't showing that they were going a ton. So I was just trying to, as long as you can get it down low. I like to come in, I step in, so like I'm a couple steps away from getting in. So, I would normally try and test that down the line a little bit more, but I didn't think that it felt like they were staying at home most of the time.
Well, to that end, I feel like I wanted to go on you a lot, okay? And I crept and I took several times. I crossed the center line, but you were just returning it too well. You step in and take it so quickly. It's like a bad bet, to try and cross on you unless server just blocks you up right in the midsection. Anytime I saw a wing, I was like, got to protect the line. I know because I trust Matt can handle that shot to him. Just like when I served to you, I preferred Matt didn't go because I wanted you to lace the ball at me.
And to your guys' credit, you handled it so well.
Yeah, and that's where the experience here, me playing with Scott, I know, like, I'm not going on a good return like that. There's no way, because I know he's going to pick it up and do something better than I'm going to do.
And you guys did. You handled it so well.
And that's where, again, experience, like, I know, John, you and I have played, and when we played, I went all day long off your return, and I went off your serve because it was just different. But with him, I'm not going to take away his awesome half volley. Right. No way.
Yeah.
Like,
and kind of, as you brought up like some good performance on Scott. I kind of want to get a sense of like your mentality in this match, Scott, because I was telling Mark after the match, I sort of likened your performance to like a central defensive mid. It wasn't like an eye-catching performance on the stat sheet, anything like that, but you sort of allowed your style of play kind of allowed the match to flow the way that it should, and like. What was your mental approach to like playing with Matt?
I'm just grumpy and tired. When I play with Matt, my goal is to put a shot that he can cross on because he's very dynamic and he's aggressive, and I don't need to be the aggressive half of the duo. I need to be the guy who hits the returns low at the feet. He crosses to the middle. If the ball gets past him, I can run it down or hit a tweener or something like that, But I'd rather in doubles not play flashy tennis. I want to play just really, really, kind of workmanlike tennis that takes the attention away from me, and makes everybody want to hit to my partner. Well, actually, no, not really that, but makes my partner, really the center of our half. I don't really. I think that the best doubles is played real, rote, real, 1, 2, 3. It's not, you don't do fancy stuff.
And when Ian and you and I have played, and John and I have played. I played with Scott for a ton, and like the word I would use for all three of y'all is just reliable. It's like I know the ball's going back over if I'm the net player, and I know I can be aggressive, and that's my style. And so I know with the three of you, I know it's going to go back. And you're going to set me up. So it's good, reliable tennis, right? Which is good doubles.
And I play well with a guy like Matt, who I know is fearless at the net and will cross because I'm very attuned to, covering for him if he moves, like just switching. And I think that you beat us up the middle a few times, but I thought we really covered each other well and got a lot of rackets on balls, and I think that is a testament to our, kind of relationship on the court.
Yeah, some teams kind of have a sixth sense, about like spatial like coverage, and you guys really have that. Like even when it was just kind of scramble drill, like you guys seem to know where to go, and not all teams have that.
So my last question is the story with good doubles, especially with you four, and you guys are going to be able to see this online when it's published, is whoever made the other team back off the net first won about 95% of the time.
That's doubles. No,
I said good doubles, but I think the thing, and I want to hear on both sides of this, in the last set, Scott and Matt utilized lobs almost perfectly, and was I think 5 for 5 or 6 for 6. Did you guys notice that at all?
Screw you guys.
It wasn't for lack of trying in the first two sets. You know, I just felt like that. You know, for me, the topspin lob is like a central part of my defensive game, because like if the ball is sitting up, you know, a lot of people are going to try to step forward and cut the volley off. But if I can lift that ball up and put some roll on it, you know, even if they get a racket on it, I feel like it gives us the opportunity to move forward. I just wasn't hitting it deep enough the first set, and the second set, I was on my heels. So, I mean, the opportunity to hit it was there, and I thought, well, if I'm going to miss it, I'm going to miss it long.
Yeah, and to y'all's credit, if I was driving the ball at you, it was coming back. Yep. And oftentimes it would come back nice and low, and then I'd pop it up and we'd get smashed. So I made a conscious decision in the third set to lob a little bit more off y'all's good first volley when y'all came in. Because I'm like, okay, if I drive it at either of you, it's going to be right back at you, because you guys were tight. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to pull you off the net with a couple lobs. That's smart. Yeah, it was a decision I made consciously. It wasn't, you know, I was like, I got to get you guys off the net, because my ground strokes aren't working to neutralize you at all.
Well, we were a half step slow, I think, in the third, and that lob just like makes you a little bit, makes it a little bit harder to get in position and get out of position a lot quicker, you know.
And I think we were kind of accustomed to the drives. I don't know about you, but I found myself with my pants down, just kind of like, oh, like, too close to the net. Yeah. Like, well, like that's the end of it.
And I think, like, to Mark's point, like, I think the lob game, like, it goes both ways, and it like affects both teams. I was kind of curious for you guys, like, because I thought you guys realized most of your success as a team with either one or both of them off the net. And did you guys ever think to kind of make this a similar adjustment to like utilize the lob more in your game, or like was there a reason why you kind of stayed away from that from a strategic point of view?
You know, on my return, I would normally try to lob quite a lot more. And I just felt like the two of them, like I said before, were just covering the court so well. Yeah. It just didn't feel like the right play.
I didn't think we were giving them much to work with lob-wise.
Did you think about it?
No, I didn't. It's not normally something I think about, though. Like
I would never lob if I had your ground strike.
Right, no, me either. You know, I'd rather just kind of drive it down the middle and like live to see another, you know. Yeah. But you know, it's a good point. It's a good point just to kind of mix it up. If I feel like you're just closing constantly, I didn't feel like you guys were pressuring, but not like right on top of the net, right? So it's like I'd rather just drive one at your chest and like live to see another ball and another ball, you know. But it just wasn't enough.
Any closing thoughts?
Good tennis.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was nice to get that third set in versus a tie break.
Yeah, I agree.
Now John's kid's in the middle of a cornfield trying to find his way home.
I'm in North Shore.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to the new players.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hopefully we'll have you guys back.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to watching it back.
Yeah, me too.
All
right.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, partner.
Good job, guys.
John, good job.
Good plan. Nice job.
Thanks, boys.
You guys have fun?
Thanks for calling it.
That was a fun one.
Good.
Nice.
You guys have fun?
Oh, yeah.